I'll show you how to make your own pin wrench used for adjusting the adjustable cup in your bottom bracket. So this is the actual picture, this is the drawing. By the way, if you can find this book, you buy it. So that's the title and the authors. Okay, so I'll teach you how to make a pin wrench. This is that book, another nice book. Okay, and then this is a picture of the pin wrench, no, a drawing of a pin wrench. They have a picture on how to use it. Let's check. There, that's the pin wrench for adjusting the adjustable cup when you're overhauling or repairing your bottom bracket. It's usually used together with the lock ring. So this is the lock ring wrench or C-wrench. This is the pin wrench. So you usually hold the pin wrench with your left hand and then the C-wrench with your right hand, and then you adjust the bearing inside. Some pin wrenches are this simple, just a thick wire, and then there are two pins there to be placed inside the two holes of the adjustable cup. This is the pin wrench I bought online. If you don't have this, you can easily make a pin wrench by getting a sturdy piece of wire, one that is not easy to bend, and then shape it this way. So you now have an instant pin wrench. So this is the pin wrench I bought online. And this is the pin wrench I made from sturdy piece of wire. So it works just fine together with your C-wrench. So this is the C-wrench I made. So it works just fine, just like the one I bought online. I'll make the pin wrench from scrap metal I have in my metal pile. This came from the bracket which I used in making my third hand bicycle tool. So this is the third hand bicycle tool I invented for adjusting my caliper brakes. I made two from ordinary bookshelf brackets. So I'll use the remaining portion of the metal to make pin wrench. So I showed you in one video how to make this so that you can, so this will be your third hand. So one hand here, the third hand tool, your other hand, left hand, for pulling the cable, and then your right hand for tightening the nut here while you're pulling the cable. So three hands, one, third, 1, left hand for pulling the cable, third hand for tightening the lock nut here. But park tools usually call it fourth hand, but it's usually third hand in many bicycle books. So I made 2, and then I'll show you how to make your own pin wrench. This third hand tool came from a bracket. This is a bookshelf bracket. I just cut it here and then here. I needed 2 pieces, so I cut the other portion here. And then I have now my, so this is the remaining. I made 2. The second one I chose a thicker kind of frame or bracket. So again I cut it here, cut it there and there with my angle grinder, and this part came from this portion, so I cut it there and there. So I can now make use of this instead of throwing this away or hoarding it in my metal pile. I'll just show you how to make your own pin wrench. The pin wrench usually has a pivot area here, so that you can adjust the distance of the pins. So the ready-made ones are usually like this. So instead of doing it this way, because if you do it this way, then this will not be aligned, because one will be on top and one will be under. So this is what I mean. If one is on top and one is under, so they are not level. You can actually bend this to make it level, but instead of still having to bend it, so instead of making the pivot area here, this is the design I have in mind. So here you can pivot the pin so that you can make it closer together or spread it. Here the pivot area is here, so you can make it closer or spread it. Here you can also make it closer or farther from each other, the 2 pins, but this is much simpler because you don't have to bend these 2 surfaces to make it align with each other, because since it is designed this way, while you can make it closer together or farther, you don't have to bend it so that they will be aligned. So these 2 sides will be parallel with each other. So anyway, you just need an additional U-bolt, nut and bolt here, small one, and then you need nuts and bolts for these pins. The nuts and bolts, the small nuts and bolts, will be used as the pins for your pin wrench. So this portion I will just get from here. The right portion I will get from the other part, and then this part I will just cut the size I need, that one, for this bottom portion, and then drill holes for the pivot areas, and then drill holes for the small nuts and bolts, which would act as the pin for turning the adjustable cap. Of course, you can always buy a ready-made pin wrench, but since I have a feeling that most of you watching are into DIY also, it's more fun and enjoyable to make our own bicycle tools and gadgets. So let's continue making a pin wrench for your adjustable cap in your bottom bracket. After cutting the 3 pieces, just drill holes here for the pins, for the nuts and bolts which will act as the pins, and then drill through holes there for the butterfly nut. So this is adjustable. So this is the finished product. These pivot areas here allow you to adjust the position of the 2 pins. So you can now turn your adjustable cup. See? So you can tighten and adjust the pairings inside your bottom bracket. So again, put 2 butterfly nuts here so that you can adjust the distance of the pins. Put this kind of nuts and bolts. This will act as the pin. So you can now adjust your adjustable cup in your bottom bracket. Okay.